everyone, it's Kathy Zilski for Simon Says Stamp, back with another installment of Easy with me, CZ. Today I'm going to create a simple card featuring some ink blended florals and die cuts and a sweet little greeting banner to pop on top. Let's get into the supplies I'm using for this project. So here I have my CZ Design Little Banners Basics, and this is another set that's similar to one I released earlier in the year. And these are little banners that say, miss you, hello, and love you. Now you can use them by themselves or you can use them with the little shadow layer, but they're just meant to add a little sweet greeting to any card. I also have the Simon Says Stamp Iceland Poppies. Now, this is a really clever little set because you have just this one die, but one of the things I often do with these types of dies is when there is a photo on the packaging, I will trim it down and stick it in the back of my little Simon pocket here so that I know, oh, that's how you use it. And so I find that to be really helpful. I've pulled some pinks. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use because I'm going to ink blend onto these poppies. I'm going to keep this very monochromatic, so I have some pink and green cardstock here. So let's get started by die cutting some florals. I have the new Spellbinders Scout. This is a mini die cut machine. It looks just like the Platinum 6 and the larger design. Sometimes I'll put it on a little mat. This is an Altenew little mat that I cut apart because I use it for different things. And I like putting this down because then it's not as apt to slide around. But it's such a cute little machine, and it has the same plates as my Platinum 6. And you can get multiple things at once. But here, of course, because this die is one die, I'm going to run this through and cut these out separately with the greens and, oh, I guess I need to put a plate down, with the greens and the florals separate. All right, let's pop that down and pop you like that. And I'll put the cutting plate C on top and we'll just run that through. It's just so cute and little, but it cuts great. All right, and see what we got here. Okay, now we have our little pieces. I also think I may have to do a little piece of brown as well. So I will just pop all of these pieces out. Oh, there's a lot too. Oh, I love that. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So they're very small, right? This is not a big flower, and that's what's kind of fun about this. So I'm going to take the pieces that go together. You guys go here. And then I'll go ahead and cut out the greens as well. Before I ink blend, I am going to cut this out for my greeting that says miss you. And I think while I'm at it, I'm going to do a white cardstock shadow layer for the base for now. I may change my mind, but I'm going to grab a piece of the Neenah Classic Crest in the 110 for a nice sturdy base. And we will pop you here, run that through. All right, and here, and I need to make sure that I save the little centerpiece here on the YOU, that is called the counter of the letter, because I want to pop that in when I create my final greeting. All right, I'm going to set that aside and do the blending. I actually think too, I'm going to cut out one more of the miss you in white so that we have a little more dimension for this banner. I've pulled out my little 4-inch square grip mat, and all I'm going to do here is take each flower, stick it down, and I'm going to add a little color to these petals, but I'm going to try to do it like you see here, where it's darker on the outside. So I've got some carnation ink. I think this color will be nice. I like to tap off a little. I don't want too much coming in hot and heavy. And we'll just start on the edge and bring some in. And all that's going to do, it's just going to give us a little depth to each petal. I can kind of work my way down a little. So adding color to a piece of colored cardstock is such a great way to ink blend, because then you've already got a base color down. I don't do this enough, and I really should do it more because I love how it looks. All right, I'm going to move this a little bit down so I don't get it where I don't want it. Okay, and then I can just keep picking it up off the mat. I can move it around, and then these little sticky mats can just be rinsed off under water. They might stain a little, but that's okay. It's not going to harm the stickiness at all. And that way we get this nice look. Now this piece is going to be the darkest of all of them, so I'm just going to blend color over all of it like that. All right, I'm going to repeat the same thing for this flower and then move on to doing these centers, which I decided I'm going to keep pink, but I'm going to blend on some orange. So now I'm going to take this cardstock that's pink, and I think I'm just going to put Cantaloupe over the top. If this doesn't work, I will go with something else, but I thought that this would be nice because then we get an orange that would look really pretty in there, and I love pink and orange together. So that's all I'm going to do. I'll let these just dry back a little bit, and those are going to be in the centers of my poppies. And last but not least, you can add a little ink to your stems as well. I'm just going to blend a little at the top so that it kind of fades. It might not even show up that much, but just to show you how easy it is to add a little more color. And that way, just sweep over like that, and your stems also will have a bit of shadowing. Okay, we can clean up and start gluing our items together. Got a little piece of Tim Holtz Media Grip Mat stuck down to my glass surface because this is really nice for adhering and gluing. So I'm just going to put a couple little beads of liquid glue. This is Connect Glue from Gina K Designs, and then all you have to do is line up that little guy right on the circle, or the oval I guess it is. And then we also bring in this little friend, pop that one down right onto the same piece. Okay, I got way too much glue on that, and if that happens, all you have to do is just wipe some of it off here like that. Okay, and then pop that on too so that that is sticking up a little. I'm just going to hold that in place. And then we take this bottom piece. It actually looks like a pair of sort of off-kilter lips. I think it's kind of cute. And again, a little liquid glue. And if you, again, feel you have too much, you can always just dab it off. And then all I'm going to do is place this. Let's see here, how does that one go? This one goes so it's a little bit up. You're just seeing a little of that little part peeking through. So you're only seeing a little. I could have put that up a little more. So maybe I will do that on the second one. Again, we'll just add our glue here. And we're going to pop you right there. Hold that down. And yeah, I think this one I will put up a little more. So I'm going to put a little glue there. And pop you down. You kind of can't really go wrong with this. I mean, you can be as funky as you like. But it is fun to add that extra color to, and that will go right on there, yep, to the petals, right? Because it gives some dimension. It looks like you spent time ink blending when it really wasn't, you know, wasn't that hard to do. And then that will go there. I'll just hold my finger on there to let that adhere. I'm not going to glue these quite yet because I'm not sure where I'm going to put them, but I am going to take, let's see here, I'm going to add a little glue here so that I can add these together for my banner. And then I'm going to take the metallic layer and just pop it right on top so we get a little more dimension. I'll just wiggle that into place. And then I'll add a little glue to the back, trying to make sure I don't get too much so nothing oozes. We'll place you right on the banner. It's a very sweet little banner. And small. All right, hold that down. We're going to take the two little centers, the counters. I'm going to put the littlest amount of glue here. I'm going to pick up the counter that I saved, pop that down. It's pretty easy to center these because they're so little. A little more glue on top. And then take that gold layer like that. Isn't that cute? All right, and then I will let that adhere. Now I can add a little glue here so that my tops of my flowers will stay on right there. And I guess we'll just hold it. And I will do the same thing over here because I'm probably going to crisscross them on my card, I would guess. And so we'll come here and pop this bloom right there and let that adhere. I went ahead off camera and I cut one of these nested domed arches out of both white and the matte gold cardstock because I thought it would be a really cute way to add a frame. Haven't quite figured out what the design of this is going to be yet, but I am going to get my note card prepped and add a little bit of shine. So let me slide this out of the way and I'm going to score my note card here at 5.5. This is 11 inches by 4 1/4. So I'll pop this out. Hold that in place, and right here at the top, you start off and score. Okay. And then I'll fold this down, and I like to give it a press with my Teflon bone folder because I like the little rounded curved edge. Plus, this does not leave a sheen on your cardstock. So let me get my splat box out so I can add my little bit of splatter. We're going to put a little bit of this aqua pigment in gilded onto my surface, or any slick surface will work, even at just a piece of acetate. And I have this number 2 Zen Royal and Langnickel round brush. I love to use this brush for spatter. And all I'm going to do is tap a little here and just do a little sort of at a diagonal across the card. Not a ton, just a little. It's meant to be random, and then I will let that dry and we can assemble the card. Now I'm going to take a thin little strip of liquid glue all the way around this frame. And I'm going to gently pick this up, and then we're just going to drop it down. I mostly want the 3 sides here to be nice and level. I want to get that hair out of there. Not that hair isn't lovely, but sometimes, you know, it's not necessarily the best for cards. Okay, and that looks pretty straight. Let me press this down and let that adhere. I think what I'm going to do is get this placed mostly like that, and Miss You is going to go in the center once I have my blooms laid out. So let me take this off. I think I'll place this one first. Liquid glue on the back and up the petals, up the backmost petals. I don't need to do the ones that are sticking up, but I am going to do a little bit of glue on the stem just to kind of keep that in place. That, and visualize my placement so that that can be up top like that, and just hold that in place on the stem, and just a very light bead going up. I'm gonna drop that right there. Then all I have to do is take the backers off of my little banner greeting, and I tend to put a little liquid glue on each little guy like that, just so that it has a nice bit of support. And then Miss You is going to go right in the center of the card with that little popped up banner. I'll add a few little sequins to finish out the card. I've got this little pack of self-adhesive dots from Concord and Ninth, and I think what I'm going to do, I like to pop them down, and before I commit, I don't press too hard, because if you don't love where you put it, these are actually really easy to pick up and take off. Pretty much any little dot will let you do that. And here I'm going to take another size, so we will have a little cascade going up with the large, the medium, and then the little tiny one out here. And that, I think, finishes out my card. I like that. So press that down, and that's our finished card project for today. So the takeaway is to use colored cardstock and just one color of ink to add some dimension to those die cuts. And then you can do all sorts of really simple techniques, whether it's creating a simple die cut frame, a little bit of gold spatter, and finish it off with some gold metallic pearls. We'll have links and a blog post for this installment of Easy with CZ, so be sure to check out the Simon Says Stamp blog today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back here with another video next month.
Hi there, I'm Heidi, Simon's mama and founder at simonsaysstamp.com. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like what you just saw, be sure to press the thumbs up and subscribe to see more great content.